Alright, this is part 1 of LS swapping the Z. And today we're putting on these ISR headers. So if you don't remember, we initially had these Temu headers. That was like the first video that ever got like over 100 views on my channel. And our initial plan was buy them, see if they're any good, and possibly use them in the car if they fit. But as you can see, they're not going to work. I was kind of skeptical about them working, but that was part of the reason I even really bought them, was because I need them now so I can fire it up in the stand. But then also, by the time putting them in the car, it'll be too late to return them. So if they don't fit, then it's going to suck that I bought them. So I figured I'd get some really cheap ones, and if they fit, great. If they don't fit, then I don't have to worry about returning them because they were 80 bucks. So I'm not upset that I bought them because, again, they were $80. I'm not going to argue about that. But so as you can see, the problem is the steering shaft right there. It's gonna interfere with them. So we just got these ISR headers. They work with the mount, and we're gonna start with the driver's side since that's where the steering rack is gonna be, and that's gonna be the hard side. But this is designed, ISR makes them to clear the steering rack, so you can kind of see the loops and whatnot, compared to this one where it doesn't have any of that because it's just going to be on the passenger side. So we're going to start with this one. Hopefully it's not too bad. And yeah, my guess is we're going to have to take the mounts back off and get the engine back on the crane, and we'll probably have to lift it a little bit and move it a little bit because there's a little bit of adjustment in the mounts, so the engine might not be perfectly level, nor give room to put these headers in. Alright, so we got the driver's side header in. This is going to be the hardest one to do. To do it, disconnect both motor mounts. Get your chain on the engine with your cherry picker. And then disconnect your steering linkage. Put a little mark or something on there so you know you're putting it on the right way. And just slip your header in, lift it, slip your header in, lift the engine, slip it in, and just keep working it in slowly. I just kind of had it in there, raise it until it kind of dropped. Worked it in. And then also, if you're Gen 4, you have a knock sensor right there. I know you Gen 3 owners have them in the valley, but on the Gen 4s, it's on the side of the block. Make sure it's pointed up and or just out of the way of the headers, because the headers will touch them if they're pointed to the side like I have them. But that's about it. Yeah. Now we're going to do the driver's side. That should be a little bit easier, because obviously there's not really much in the way over here. So let's get to it. All right, and with that, the headers are in. Pretty easy. As you can see, the ISR headers clear the steering rack pretty well. Quite impressed with this. I'm very glad everything fit. It is pretty daggone close to that steering rack, but hey, it clears it. So that's all that matters. One other thing I forgot to mention with this swap. From what I've been told, you need an HR power steering rack to swap an LS in, because the pan will hit the power steering lines, which is true. But it's silly that people would say that instead of just trying to do what I did. If you would just, can you see it? Maybe I gotta slide underneath the car. Hang on, we're gonna slide underneath the car. Oh, you also have to drop the sway bar just from the mounts, because it makes it a lot easier to get it in. It's like 8 bolts. It's not that hard. Anyways, so that's the piece that we're talking about that hits the oil pan. If you just hammer it down, it's not going to be a problem. And it's a bad angle because it looks like it's hitting it from there. But if you look from up here, you can see it's not hitting. It's not touching it. Here's my finger. it did scratch a little bit as I was getting it in, right here and over there, but it's in, it fits. I still maintain the factory power steering line, or power steering rack. You just gotta hammer the lines a little bit. I say hammer, it's like tapping if anything, but oh well.